Hey guys, what's up? Chad here from Wash Wizard Power Washing down in Jacksonville, Florida. And today we're coming in here doing we're doing a free driveway, right? So I have a program, and what I do is I offer realtors, high producing realtors, I give them one free service to get in with them. So I come to this new realtor that we're doing business with, and this is the first time we're using them, and it's for a free service. And a lot of the times what happens is these free services actually turn into other jobs on top of it, but at least you get in with the realtor, you make good with them, and then they start sending you work, so that's pretty much what we do, right? So I come here, and occasionally this is what you get. So this is the free driveway. And on top of it, this is the kicker, the guy wants me to do the side pavers as well and the carport for free. So I very politely explained to the gentleman when I got here, I said, well, this is not a free service. I says, free service to us is something like from the trailer to right about here. Not that. That's free. This costs extra. So he agreed to pay the difference, and funny thing is, now he wants us to give him a price for roof wash, a house wash, do the area where the boat is back here. Got a little boat back there. Wants to get that cleaned up, and all these pavers, which are kind of a mess to be honest, he wants these cleaned and resanded and sealed. So that's probably, I'd say between everything you're probably looking at $1,500-$1,800 in work, plus I'm sure he's going to want us to clean up this screen, so this free job very possibly turns into a $2,000 job, right? So the takeaway from the story is, don't be afraid to give, because giving back, especially to, people that are in the position to give you continuous work, like realtors, property management companies, different commercial vendors, a lot of the times I find it really pays off in the end. Yes, you're going to go out there and you're going to do some free work, and you're probably not going to get much out of it, but occasionally, and you're going to make good connections, and you're going to have jobs like this that turn out to be worthwhile. So that being said, I already have my water line going, filling up my tank. If I turned on the valve in the trailer, which I'm just going to have to check because I have a feeling I didn't turn it on. And I'm using a new microphone today because, yeah, see, I didn't turn it on, so it's not filling shit. Okay. Now it's filling. So I'm using a new microphone. I usually have the microphone that's cordless over here. So the last video I made and the one before that, the mic actually went out on me. The battery or something just stopped transmitting, and I lost half of my footage because there was no audio. So I smashed that microphone. It felt good, and I got this microphone, which is actually it's like a bullet. I think they call it bullet microphones. It sits on top of the camera, and it just faces you, and it plugs directly into the camera, so there's no recharging. So let me know how the sound is. This is the first video I'm shooting with it. There's some limitations. When you're on the side of it, doesn't pick up well, but if you're directly in front of it, it seems to work pretty good. And I'm usually directly in front of it for these videos, so I think it'll work out. But I'm gonna throw you on the tripod. I'm gonna pull out now, quick driveway, just for those of you who don't know. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna blow off a lot of this stuff with our high pressure hose. Get all the loose debris off of everything that we're going to be cleaning today. All these itchy balls and all these pine needles and shit. And then we're typically we would etch, and we're still going to, you know, we're going to take our high pressure wand and etch up all the areas that the surface cleaner can't get to, right? All the areas that are tight. So we're going to clean them up with the wand. And then I'm going to shoot this with a pre-treatment of bleach. So SH, I'm going to hit it about 3%. We're going to pre-treat it. It's starting to drizzle out, so hopefully it doesn't dilute it too much. And after that, we're going to hit it with the surface cleaner, get it cleaned up, and then rinse it down. And remember, when you're surface cleaning, really important tip, you know, don't try to knock out a whole driveway like this in one shot. You got to take little spots, you know, 100 square feet at a time, hit them with the surface cleaner, and then maybe rinse them off, get that loose dirt off the driveway so it doesn't sit back on the driveway and soak back in, you know, while it takes you another hour and a half to get to the other side. So I'm gonna get to going, and probably gonna throw on my rain gear, and let's get this thing done. Guys, so we did our our pre-treat, shot down a 3% mix down on the driveway. It'll start to help kill off all this growth, you know, this mold, all that dark, and, you know, loosen up the dirt. Now things like staining, that's not going to do anything for it. We know that, right? So, you know, SH is only to kill organic material. It's not going to kill anything other than organic material. Mold, mildew, allergy, things like that. And depending on how heavy the buildup is, you know, even using a 6% mix isn't going to guaranteeably clean the driveway completely, because the longer that buildup sits on that driveway, year after year, decade after decade, you know, it just absorbs like a sponge, and no amount of bleach and no amount of pressure washing you do is going to completely take that staining out. So a driveway like this, I do not expect it to come out perfect. You know, this driveway will come out much cleaner. You'll see at the end of the video, but it will definitely not be perfect. There'll be dark spots, there'll be spots that look like they're still dirty, there'll be stains. You know, when you got a driveway that's, you know, 20, 30 years old and hasn't been cleaned on a regular basis and sitting on the trees, you just got a mess on your hands. So you got to know what to expect. You got to know what to let the customer expect. So that being said, usually what I do is I blow off the driveway first and etch it, and then I post-treat it. But what happened was my water tank, when I got here, was bone empty. And while I was talking to you, making this video, I forgot to turn on my my valve to let the water into my buffer tank. So now you could see here, you know, we're starting to get up here. This is a 275 gallon buffer tank, so it takes a minute to fill. And I didn't want to use up any of that water to blow off the debris before I post-treated it. You know, post-treating it, it's only putting out, you know, 2-3 gallons a minute. My pump puts out 5.3 gallons a minute, but that's without all the hose and the fittings and the, you know, so you gotta, when I actually did a bucket test on this, it only puts out about 2.5 gallons a minute. So it doesn't use up a lot of water, so I wasn't, you know, I didn't care about using that little bit of water. Another little tidbit, when you're done with this is my soft wash setup. So this is my SH tanks, this is my SH hose, and this is my proportioning valve system. It also goes out to a surfactant tank that's on the other side of the trailer. So when you're done shooting your SH, always rinse out your machines. Always rinse them out. So there's a pump in here. and all that SH is going right through that pump, and that pump is pushing the SH through all this line, and then it's coming in through this. You know, if you don't rinse that SH out of there, and I mean really good, you got to shoot fresh water for, you know, 2-3 minutes at least to get all that SH out. So that's a big one. So I'm going to do that now. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to shut my SH off. So now my SH is completely off. This is for my surfactant, that's off. And the only thing open fully is my water, okay? So now I'm just gonna actually turn this on like this. Sorry for the flip around. So I just locked it in place. I'm just gonna let it sit there like this for, you know, 4 or 5 minutes at least. And you can hear the pump is going, you can see it's going. All right, so the way a soft wash pump works, it's a demand pump. And what that means is once it builds up a certain amount of pressure, depending on your pump, mine's about 60 PSI. Once it builds up 60 PSI in the lines, it shuts off. So you may have it plugged in and you say, well, it's not working. It is. When you pull that trigger and you release some of that pressure, when it goes under 60 PSI, that pump's going to kick back on and run like mine's running right now. So it's a little something about soft wash pumps. So we're just going to let that go about 5-6 minutes, and you can smell the SH. So right now I could actually smell the SH, and if you run your fingers in it, you're going to feel it. It's going to be real slick. And in 5 minutes when I check it, it's not going to smell like SH, and it's going to be a dry feel. Then I know I cleaned out my gun and my whole pump and my whole soft wash system. So I'm going to throw you back on the tripod, and I'm going to get to work. All right, guys, so now what we're going to do is we're going to etch out the property. We're going to blow all the debris off it, get it ready for the surface cleaner. So I'm going to grab the high pressure hose, put the wand, and get to it. All right, guys, so we got the whole driveway pre-treated, etched everything, all the edges, got everywhere that the surface cleaner couldn't get, and then we blew it all off. So now it's ready to go for the surface cleaner. Basically, we're just going to surface clean it about 100 square feet at a time. You'll see you do cross patterns, so you'll go straight, and then you'll go sideways, and maybe you'll go around in the circles. You want to break up your patterns because, believe it or not, when you hit it at different angles and this, you know, it helps. So I find that by going up and down and then side to side and then just going around in circles like a buffer in that same area and then moving to a new area, I think that's the quickest and most thorough way to do it. So let me get to it. All right, guys, I'm gonna hand hold you here because I'm not going back to get my my camera holder or whatever you want to call it, attachment. So I want to show you something. See all the sand? Okay. See this? This is really algae that builds up in these paver cracks. You know that you want to get rid of, but what's going to ultimately always happen when you surface clean pavers, you're always going to pull some of the sand out. So you got to let the customer know up front that if you're going to surface clean or power wash any kind of paver, it's going to pull some sand out. And typically I never ever surface clean or power wash a paver unless they want to seal it or resand it and seal it in the very near future. And I let them know that. Sometimes they say I don't care, just power wash it and whatever, and that's fine, you know. But if you ever come across sealed pavers and somebody wants you to surface clean those or power wash them, I would think twice, because they're going to say, well, you wrecked my pavers, you pulled the sand out, and you're going to be liable for that. So let them know up front what you will and won't do and what they can and can't expect. You know, and that's basically it. But basically, when they're clean, you know, it looks a lot better. It's all cleaned up. But you could see now, realistically, this needs to be resanded and sealed. And I had explained that to this customer, and he wants to do it, so he was okay with it. All right, guys, we're all wrapped up here. Let's take one last walk around. Got all equipment away. Remember, always rinse out your chemicals. Anything that's in your lines, chemical-wise, rinse them out real well. All right, so this is a finished product here. All right. Staining, you know, some things you just ain't gonna be able to get out. But for all in all purposes, it came out real nice, considering it's pretty old. Pavers look great. They need to be pavers need to be re-sanded and resealed. You know, I don't even think he should bother with these side pavers. They really weren't installed correctly, so it would just be a waste of money, in my opinion. But you know, that's it. Monster driveway, almost free. All right, I did basically this job for $100, but I got a good connection from a realtor, and I'm sure she'll feed me more work, and also have potential of doing quite a bit of work for this gentleman in the future, in the near future, hopefully. And that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it was informative. Maybe you learned something, maybe you didn't. But stay tuned for more videos on exterior cleaning and pressure washing. Until next time, I'll see you then.